Alright, we're going to start recording the trade recaps for the Discord. Right now we have nobody in it, but we'll get it done for YouTube. So if people want to miss out and get prepared for the week, that ain't my problem. We're going to get better. Hold on, let me fix the camera. Alright, I took 2 trades on this day. One being a loser and one being a winner for this week. So this date is going to be September 2nd. So on Monday we had we had a bank holiday last week, as we could see, and then we had ISA manufacturing PMI and ISA manufacturing prices at 10 a.m. So I probably waited for news on the first trade. I know I lost the first trade, so we'll go to market open. Market open, we came down and we swept out these lows. And I knew we formed an SMT off these lows also. I know ES formed a low and a higher low, and then NASDAQ formed a low and a lower low. But again, in this video, I'm just going to go over the trades that I took for the backtesting session. We only took 2 trades this week, so we're going to have 2 trades to go over. But again, I just want to show you my insight on these trades. So other than that, let's wait for a setup. So we came down, we swept out these 4-hour lows. And I probably was waiting for news, right? I waited for ISM services PMI. I wanted to wait for a breaker structure to the upside. We ended up getting a breaker structure to the upside in the 5-minute time frame, right? Let's see if we can get 15-minute fair value gaps. We do have a 15-minute fair value gap up here. We have a 15-minute high up here. We have a 15-minute high here. And we have a 15-minute high up here also. Alright, so I want to see where I went wrong on this trade. This is at 9:40, so I probably didn't take a trade yet. We've created a 5-minute order block right here. 5-minute break structure to the upside. Who's joined? Oscar? What up, Oscar? I already got started, Oscar. I'm just going over the trades that I took this week. We only took 2 trades, but I'm talking to the YouTube because I'm going to start recording these, okay? So I'm just going to go over the trades that I took. On Tuesday, I lost 1 trade, and then I won 1 trade, 2 take profits hit, and then we got stopped out at break even. So we're going to see what I could have done better. But as I was saying, we broke structure to the upside. I was probably going to wait for news, right? So I'm staying in the 5-minute time frame. We can see price comes up. This is 9:45. Macro opens up 9:50. We take out this 15-minute high. And then we ended up getting our retrace, right? So we take out this 15-minute high. This is when news drops. We'll see when news drops. So news dropped around or at 10 o'clock, right? I know I took a long position here, trying to probably target London session highs and stuff like that. So we took out these 15-minute highs too. News came out. I think I marked the 5-minute bullish for a value gap right here. And then we also had one below. 2 5-minute bullish for value gaps, right? And I probably came down into the 1-minute time frame, looking to see if we get a reaction off of this area. Again, equilibrium. Where would equilibrium be? Let's see where equilibrium would be. These lows to these highs. I don't think we came down into equilibrium. Let me see. What did I see happen here? 1-minute bullish fair value gap we have right in here also. I'd like to see a breaker structure to the upside after this. Alright, which we do get. Breaker structure to the upside. Alright, now we look for a continuation confluence, which we didn't get. Let me see here. So I didn't enter a trade yet. Well, I shouldn't have. We'll go back and look at my video on YouTube. Alright, we come into the second bullish fair value gap. 5-minute bullish fair value gap. Let's see, we break structure to the upside. Let's see if we get a retrace into a fair value gap. We create a fair value gap, right? don't know where my entry would be on that. Ended up inversing that now too. Broke structure back to the downside. Let's X this 1 minute out. Mark out this 1 minute bearish fair value gap. And this 1 minute bearish fair value gap. We'll make these red. I think I remember this actually. I think we inverse both of these on a big candle up right here. Watch. Yeah, we do. We don't inverse both yet. Yep, see, we came up here. This is where I entered the trade, and this was literally a fake out, so I shouldn't even entered here. Because again, it's already 10:25. I usually stop trading around 10:30 to 10:45. But again, we're just consolidating right here, and I'm pretty sure we ended up forming a 5-minute S&T if we went to ES also off of this. But as we can see, we came up inverse both these fair value gaps. Then I waited for a continuation confluence, right? We formed this bullish fair value gap. This 1 minute bullish fair value gap. I think we came back down into it and we had a reaction off of it. I didn't enter there yet. Bang. I think I entered off that. I entered here, putting my stop loss below this low. Because again, we came into equilibrium too. From these lows to these highs. And we got a bullish reaction out of it. And then my TP1 was probably these 15-minute highs. And then TP2, these hourly highs. And final TP. Let's see what the risk to reward was there. Yeah, 1 to 2.7. And then I'm pretty sure we got instantly stopped out, as we could see. I'm pretty sure price came up and then we got stopped out, right? So that was the first trade I took on Monday. I probably should have saw that we ended up forming that S&T because I think ES ended up coming up, forming a higher high. We formed a 5-minute S&T off of a 15-minute high. And we didn't want to come up and take out these draws above. So after reevaluating, I took 2 trades on this day. Does Oscar have any questions? Hold on. All right, dope. Oscar, you're good. You good, Oscar? You're probably doing good. All right, awesome. So on that trade, I should have been focusing on the S&Ts at the high. And again, we were already at 10:25 and market was chopping around. If you can see in the 1 minute time frame, we probably shouldn't even took a trade because again, look, we weren't breaking out of this range at all. And then we ended up forming that 5-minute S&T off of a 15-minute high. I should have thought that price is probably going to continue down or just not even traded for the day. But as we could see, we came down and we ended up breaking structure to the downside in the 5-minute time frame. This is the second trade I took. I'll show you. Let's mark out this low because we already took it out. But we had a high time frame fair value gap below that we ended up filling. So we had a 4-hour bullish fair value gap right here that we wanted to come down and fill again. We also had these lows. I think we created a new hourly low also. Yeah, we ended up creating a new hourly low that price wanted to take out in this 4-hour fair value gap. So after I lost the first trade, I was going to be done for the day, but I ended up seeing another opportunity, and usually my rules are 2 trades in a day, and I have to be done. So again, I had the opportunity to look for another trade, and as we can see on this candle, we come down, we break structure on the 5-minute time frame. Once we did that, I decided to scale down to the 1-minute time frame, and I'm pretty sure we even inversed this on the next candle. Let's see. Yeah, we ended up inversing, just continuing down. And then we saw an inverse of the 5-minute bullish fair value gap. I scaled down to the 1-minute time frame, and I wanted to look for a lower time frame entry. And where do we get it? I'm pretty sure. Did we end up forming a 5-minute bearish fair value gap? I think we did. I think we ended up forming a 5-minute bearish fair value gap, if I remember correctly. We formed one here, and then we had a 5-minute bearish fair value gap right here. Right? I'm pretty sure we came into that 5-minute bearish fair value gap, if I remember clearly. Let's see. Yeah, we did. Come back up into the 5-minute bearish fair value gap. We broke structure to the upside. So what I would want to look for is a break of structure back to the downside, right? which we get here. So we get a 1 minute break of structure back to the downside. And then I would like to look for my continuation confluence, which we form a bearish fair value gap. 1 minute. Hold on. 1 minute bearish fair value gap after coming out of that 5 minute bearish fair value gap. I'm pretty sure we came back up and retraced into it. There's another one right here too. This little one. Let's mark equilibrium from these lows to these highs. Yep. Let me get a bearish candle out of that. Bang. So this was my second entry. I'll just X this out. This was my second entry. I put my stops above this high. Because again, we already reacted off of the 5 minute bearish fair value gap. I didn't want to put another stop loss with 46 points because I would have lost a little bit more than I wanted to. So I put my stop loss above this high. And then I wanted to put my full take profit to these lows, right? Or even actually our first take profit. I think that was our final take profit. Yeah, that was our final take profit because I didn't have the balls to let it run all the way down to the hourly low because, again, I already took a loss and emotions were a little bit high on this day. And, again, that's just part of trading, guys. At least I'm honest with you about it. But this was my entry on the second trade, and I wanted to target – this is my full take profit, right? So prices started to drop. I took partials at this fair value gap right here. Where is it? 1 minute. Where's it? Bullish fair value gap. We had a 1 minute bullish fair value gap right here, and I saw this wick come up after it. I didn't want us to come back up and stop us out, so I took two of my partials here. Again, I went in 3 micros. I took 2 of my partials, I think, at the 50% level of this fair value gap, and then the end of that fair value gap, which was like this, right? Which is still a 1 to 1.3, right? Getting a little bit of profit back. So I put my stop loss to break even, and then I ended up trailing my stop loss, and I got hit by a trailing stop. So let's mark this out with red. I ended up trailing my stop loss, I think, above these highs, like the candle closure. I should have put it above the wick, but I'm pretty sure we ended up getting stopped out by, let's see. Yeah, we ended up getting stopped out by the tick on this trade. Wing Wong. What up, Wing Wong? What's up, brother? Sorry. Shit, is it say 8:30? Hold on. Class schedule. Sundays from 8 p.m. EST to 9 p.m. Wingy. Yeah, I switched it like 3 weeks ago. You're probably still... We used to do it at 8:30. You're right, though. You good, though. I'm just going over the first trade. But our trailing stop loss literally got hit again. I think on the next coming weeks, I'm going to start working on putting my stop loss, just keeping it at break even, because this is a trade that could have ran to full take profit, getting back all of my loss. Again, it got back like half of the loss that I took in the first place. And then the second trade that we're going to go over that I took on Thursday, same thing happened. So I think I'm just going to take partials and set it and keep it at break even. Because on this trade, we literally got stopped out by the tick. And then price continued to completely run. That would have been our full take profit right there. But this would have been a crazy trade too. And I'm pretty sure price ended up running all the way down low. Oh no, we would have been edged. All right, we would have been edged. But this was my full take profit. I'll be totally honest with you guys. I didn't have my full take profit for these lows. I didn't have the balls to do that after taking a loss. I wanted just to target a 1 to 2 to get profits back. But again, we ended up getting stopped out by the trailing stop loss. Literally by the tick, which sucked. But it is what it is. So, yeah. All right, let's go over the other trade that we took. We took another trade on the 4th. I only took 2 trades this week. And the 4th was a good trade, but we got stopped out by literally just the full runner couldn't run. Let's mark this out for you guys. All right. It was a W trade. Yeah, no, Oscar, that second trade was a W trade. Every Sunday match we host live. Oh shit, you're right, Wing Wong. It's on the freaking events. I gotta fix that. I'll fix that after. That's my bad. On the events, it's still that. Here, I'll delete that right now. Cancel event. Alright, that should be done. Wait. Cancel all. Alright, my bad, Wing Wong. You're right. It was still on the events. Thank you, sir. I was talking about in the class schedule I have in the Discord. All right, back to the other trading day we took. Let's skip forward. We'll go till 9. All right, on Thursday, the 4th, we had ISM Services PMI. So I waited for news again on this day. Let's mark out all our draws, right? This is how I always mark out my stuff. London session highs, already got, Asian session highs got taken. London session lows. And then we also got Asian session lows, right? And then I'll go to the 4-hour time frame. I mark out all my high time frame draws. Again, this is back testing, so it's going to be a little effed up. Because again, the candle goes forward. So we have these 4-hour lows. These 4-hour lows. This 4-hour fair value gap. We have this 4-hour fair value gap. 4-hour fair value gap. Go to the hourly time frame. We have this big hourly fair value gap here. Hourly lows, hourly high, hourly low, big hourly bullish fair value gap, which is right here. Alright, so we ended up waiting for news on this day, and this was actually a good trade, but again, I trailed my stop loss, and I have to start, I think I'm just going to set it at break even at this point and let my trades run. Because again, I keep getting a little nervous with the trailing drawdown on these PA accounts, which is stupid. I just got to trust my trade. So on market open, we came up, we swept out London session highs and these 4-hour highs, right? I know people wanted to go short here, and I think a couple people did, but I wanted to wait for news to come out, so we'll wait for news to come out, which was at, here's 9:55. 10 a.m. we come down, we end up sweeping out these 4-hour lows, these London session lows, and then Asian session lows, right? 5-minute time frame we were on, we ended up forming another SMT off of these lows. So if you don't know what SMT is, go back and watch the YouTube video that I have in my blueprint 2.0. It's on my YouTube. Oscar said I'll be back, all right. But off of these 5-minute lows from Asian session lows, we ended up forming an SMT. So ES formed a low and then a higher low, and then NASDAQ formed a low and a lower low. So NASDAQ was the lagging index in this case, and I decided to take the trade on NASDAQ. So my main focus was on NASDAQ. And then as you can see, we formed a 5-minute bearish fair value gap. We formed a 5-minute bearish fair value gap here. I didn't want to short off of this position because, again, we're in a big hourly fair value gap. We could come down and fill it up a little bit more. But, again, we're sweeping out a high time frame. I'm pretty sure this was an hourly low. We're sweeping out a high time frame low, and then it's also a session low, and we're also in a bullish 1-hour fair value gap. So I wanted to see buying pressure out of this. We ended up forming a new high on the 5-minute time frame, as you can see. So I wanted to see a break of structure to the upside and an inverse of this 5-minute fair value gap, which we end up getting with one candle, right? So we end up breaking structure, inversing this 5-minute fair value gap. We have these 15-minute highs above, Pretty sure these were 15-minute highs. Yep, they were. So we have these 15-minute highs above. We have this 4-hour draw above. And then another thing I wanted to see is because ES was targeting this 4-hour fair value gap above, because ES was the leading index. So we had this 4-hour bearish fair value gap above, right? So that's what I wanted to target. So we could see we come up, we break structure, we inverse the 5-minute fair value gap. I instantly scale down to the 1-minute time frame, right? I'm not entering right away. What do I want to look for? My continuation confluences, right? We're bullish on the 1-minute, we're bullish on the 5-minute. We're reacting off of high time frame draws and liquidity and a high time frame fair value gap below. It's looking pretty good. This is an A+ setup. So what I look for is our continuation confluences, right? So we have our 1-minute bullish fair value gap that ended up getting formed right here. I think we formed a new high right here. Let's see. Yep, we formed two fair. All right, good. Yep, I remember this. We formed two bullish 1-minute fair value gaps, right? Usually I don't enter off of the first fair value gap. I like to see this one get entered into below. I also saw equilibrium form, right? From these lows to these highs. And I at least want to see equilibrium get touched into, right? Which it did. So I want to see a bullish candle close out of that. We end up coming down into the second fair value gap. Also, we get a bullish close out of that, right? This was my entry right here. Stops below where fair value equilibrium gets invalidated. This was a 37-point stop. First take profit was these highs. Just in case we wanted to sweep these in reverse, which was around 1-to-1. It was close. It was 1 to 0.8. I know that's not the best risk to reward yet. But final take profit was here. Well, final take profit was actually at these highs. Again, I'll explain what happened because, again, this trade took forever. And we ended up taking off another partial or at this 1-minute bearish fair value gap right here. All right, I'll just mark it out for you guys. 1 minute. 1-minute bearish fair value gap. And you'll see why. Yeah, this was a good one, Wing Wong. Wing Wong took this trade too. He's in the Discord right now. He took this trade too, but this is literally the example of something I need to fix. And again, I show you guys the truth and the real reality of my trading. But something I need to fix is letting my trades run. Again, I've been working on letting them run, but I've been trailing my stop loss for more protection. I think I should just trail my stop loss maybe a little bit above break even and make me comfortable, especially after TP1 gets hit. But I ended up taking a second partial here, which you'll see I'll explain. And then I ended up moving my stop loss up a little bit even more. And then we literally got stopped out by a couple points again. And then price decided to run in the direction. And we would have made a lot more money this week if both trades ended up playing out. Again, we ended the week green, $50 per account. We were minus 279 off the first trade because we lost a little bit more than we expected. But if we let both trades run, which they did, and not trail our stop loss, we probably would have ended the week $300 per account, right? Times 10 PA accounts instead of 50. So it's something that I'm going to start to work on, especially coming into this next week. But this trade, it ended up playing out pretty well. First TP ended up getting hit right here. I decided to move my stops to break even off of this point, right? We'll use this red line right here as my stop loss. So I put it below this fair value gap at first. We came into this 1-minute bearish fair value gap. I thought we were looking pretty good. Price decided to come back down, right? I think we formed a 5-minute bullish fair value gap somewhere. Yeah, we did. 5-minute bullish fair value gap right here. So we came into this 5-minute bullish fair value gap. I didn't take a partial yet, right? So price ended up coming back up. Didn't take a partial yet. We ended up coming up for the third time. I ended up taking a partial right here, and you can go check in the live video. I post my live video also. Right above these highs, I went in 3 micro E-minis, taking a partial off, right? And then I ended up setting my full take profit up to here. So I decided after taking that second partial to put my stop loss below this most recent low, right? Because we had this fair value gap protecting us. It was literally 30 points or something like that below. Well, not yet. Watch this. Just watch. Like, dude, we were 8 points away from our full take profit. And then from where I had my trailing stop, we were 36 points away. And then we literally just got stop rated with one candle. Bang. And we still made $200 per account on the trade. But again, we could have made 300 to 350 per account on the trade if we let it go to full take profit, especially this one up here. And then as you can see, look, if we just kept our stop loss at break even, it would have played out. So that's 2 times in a row that we have a live example of if I didn't trail my stop loss, right? And we just kept it at maybe even a little bit above break even where it originally was, the trade would have ended up playing out. And I'm pretty sure this trade ended up filling the 4-hour fair value gap, like I said, that I wanted it to get to target, which it did, I'm pretty sure. Let's let it play out. This might take forever. Yeah, it ends up filling this whole fair value gap, I'm pretty sure. I remember looking at this at the gym. But, yeah, I mean, what I could fix on this is probably just trusting the trade. Keep my stop loss where it was originally, because, again, we entered this trade around 10:29, and then we ended up getting stopped out by a couple points around 11:10. So it was a decent sized trade. It was like a 40-minute trade. But again, emotions got in the way a little bit. But I've been working on letting the trades run, which is good. And I like how I take partials and stuff like that at good areas. But again, I just got to stop trailing my stop loss so tightly and letting these trades completely run. Because again, we could have one pullback just like this. We had multiple of them. And I thought we were golden once we hit up here and we were 8 points away. So I moved that stop loss up right below this low. Market targeted this area, swept out all these lows down below, and then it ended up running back up to where it wanted to go. So, yeah. That was a good trade, though. I really think that was one of the best trades not one of the best trades, but that was the best trade of the week to take. So, yeah. But other than that, that's what a backtesting session looks like, YouTube. You have to join the Discord to be able to get access to the classes like this. Again, it's $10 a month, which isn't crazy at all. I think it's worth it personally. But if you want to find that out, just go click my link in my bio on my Instagram or my YouTube or any of my socials. That'll bring you to my website. And then, you can get involved and be part of the Discord. But other than that, that's what a backtesting session looks like. We literally go over the trades that I win, lose, break even on. And if anybody has any questions after that about what trades that I took or they took, we go over them and then go from there and get prepared for the week like this. So, yeah. Everybody who missed class, though, yeah, Wing Wong's going to break down your door. Goodbye.